talk about the two moves that are going to make you a great golfer, or two moves that all great golfers do. Number one is hip depth. Hip depth is, if I was to stand from this perspective, as if I was swinging towards the wall here, hip depth basically means that if I was to draw a line on the back of my hips here, as I swing back, my trail hip moves back behind that line. Getting good hip depth is really, really important for two reasons. One, because we obviously don't want to be, moving massively this way, coming in towards particularly the backswing position, which is a common problem, but also the start of the downswing. But what it also means is that golfers who lose hip depth, they also don't introduce what is known as a left side bend, or if you like, an element of tilt. So what I mean by this is, in the backswing position, my spine ends up looking like this. It doesn't necessarily look like this because obviously we rotate in this sort of direction. And having this left side bend, which gives you good hip depth, that basically means as you start the downswing, you can move your upper body over your lead leg. And that is going to be really, really important. So the first thing that I'd suggest, this is one of the things that I do with my students, is if you're struggling with hip depth, you've got to picture yourself standing on a compass, right? So north facing, behind you south facing, obviously to the right of you easterly facing. And what you need to do is you need to move the pelvis in the direction of southeast, okay? Like this. Now, not a slide, make sure it's still a rotation, but you've got to try and keep your head still and rotate in that direction. And that will feel like you're turning much more into your trail leg as opposed to people who move this way. But like I say, that feeling, keeping your head still, is going to give you that tilt or side bend, whatever phrase you want to use. And that's definitely the first move. That's what I tend to work on with pretty much every student in the early stages of their development. The second move is this chest move, and getting this chest moving over the lead leg as you initiate the downswing, as I'm demonstrating like so. The reason why this is so important is because it gives you that opportunity to cover the golf ball like this. So I swing back, as my chest moves progressively over my lead side. You can see the way I'm demonstrating this movement. This now means that as I let my arm straighten, I can strike down on the back of the golf ball. And the better that you become at that movement, the more powerful you can become. Because there's a lot of talk about ground force and using the ground, and it's absolutely correct. Okay, I talk a lot about keeping this trail leg flexed in the backswing to help you use the ground better. But when it comes to the through swing, and we talk about these sort of sensations of pushing off the ground, again, they're correct. But what you're better off thinking about, in my opinion, is the feeling of retracting your left side out the way. So if you can sequence your backswing with a good pivot, if you can then start the downswing with a good chest move, this then means that you can propel your lead arm off your chest as you start to swing through. And those are the two moves that you will find with every good golfer. Good backswing pivot, good chest move, and that lends itself to a nice rotation, retraction of that left side, and good distance. I'll see you soon.